regarding this anti-drug campaign that we're going on right now, it's very, very close to my heart because as since the beginning of my ringing as Miss Nagaland, I always wanted to take such steps towards this campaign. So I am very, very thankful to the Assam Rifle and IGAR North. So also my collaboration team, that is Kripa Foundation, the Social Welfare Department, and Nashamag Baran for organizing such campaign with me. So as we all know, this drug is so much epidemic in our state, the talk of the town, especially the drug called sunflower right now. So giving awareness to the students, to the youth of our generation right now is very, very important. It's what I believe. So spreading the awareness and saving life is what I feel is much need of the hour. So the stigma of the drug abuse is usually kept under rug, even by the families of those having drug addictions. So I really believe if the church can come out of this zone and talk about this drug issue openly, I believe everyone can work out together for this better healing process as well, even in our state.
Today, for my message to the young people against in connection with this program, anti-drug campaign, which has been initiated for the districts of Dimapur, including Mon, Mokokchung, Kohima, and yeah, these are the districts. And today we're so happy that this is happening in Dimapur. Today I stand here with a long experience of having experience with drug addiction, starting from my family. My brother was into drugs, my other brother, though it has been many years and we have lost him. But personal experiences has driven me to this issue for which we are fighting for even today. And today I stand here as someone who has seen loved ones who have passed away, families who have been broken, families who have lost their loved ones, children have lost their fathers, parents have lost their sons and daughters to drugs and to drug addiction. And it has been, for the Naga society, it has been a very painful journey since the time that I could remember, since the late 80s. Since the late 80s until now, and for the last few years as of now, the craze, the rage that has really wiped out generations. As I look back to the early 90s, it was horrible, it was terrible, it was a nightmare. And today, after so many years, even today, as we look back to the last couple of years, it has been really, really very difficult times for the young people. As we run a rehab center, and before I came into the rehab center, I participated in some of the few research studies after I did my master's. I did studies on the drug using patterns in Nagaland and some few other studies which was conducted by various organizations. And I could see the pain and suffering, the loss of the society. So today I stand here to say to the young people, don't do drugs. And if you see anyone, tell them not to do it. And if you see anyone doing it, tell them that there is help available. And help should be sought at the earliest. Don't hide the problem. Hiding the problem doesn't solve the problem. But we have to seek help, and we have to know where to seek help. Prodigal Som as an organization, as we have been running the rehab center since 1990, since the time it has been founded. Actually, Prodigal Som was founded to address the problem of drug addiction in Naga society, because in the late 80s and the 90s, as said, it was wiping away generations. Potential young people who were so promising, who were so good in studies, they failed left and right, and they couldn't live till today because of addiction. So as we run this rehab center, today we're struggling. Fathers who have children, they come to the rehab center. Young men who are studying, they come to the rehab center. Young men who are working, they're coming to the rehab center. Mothers who are struggling with bringing up the children, they're struggling with addiction. It's not just young men, mothers, women, men, young men, old men, as old as 60 years, as old as 50 years are coming to the rehab center. As young as 14 years, as young as 13 years, seeking for help. Parents do not know what to do with the children who are struggling with addiction. So many parents are living in fear for the future, looking at the present today, how addiction is affecting everyone in the society. It's a very scary situation, looking at the ground situation, the reality. And as we work with the children as well, implementing the helpline 1098, we see how children's life has been damaged, destroyed because of father's addiction and mother's addiction. We see children running away because of abusive homes. Because when there's drug and alcohol in the family, there's violence, there's no peace. So children, they run away. They run away from violent homes and end up in the wrong places again. So looking at it from how it ravages the society, the young, the old, the men and women, boys and girls, no one is spared. So we have to be very, very careful and see that no one gets into drugs. None of our loved ones, anyone that you know, you have to make sure that they don't get into drugs. For this reason, we are here today. And as we look and as we run this women's center, we also get women of all ages struggling with alcohol and drugs, alcohol and other drugs. And we see the marriages breaking up. Women leaving their husbands, husbands leaving their wives. Why? Because of addiction in the family. So as we look into the reality, the stark reality destroying our families, today I want to share this message to our young boys and girls, the college students, the university students, and the school students, and all our teachers, respected teachers, and all our officers, the concerned departments here. And women whose husbands are into it, and women are forced to go into all kinds of unlawful activities, antisocial activities to support the children because of not getting the support from husbands who are wasting away the money in alcohol and drugs. So the message for me today to the young people is that don't ever say yes. If someone says, just take a puff, just take a sip, just take a sniff, just take a shot, say no. If someone tells you this, they are not your friends, they are your foes. They are your foes for today, not only for today, but they are the foes of your tomorrow as well. Because many young people who had big dreams, who had big plans for the future, everything was destroyed because they couldn't say no to the friends who told them to drink for the sake of company. Company karne khabina, eko nohoy. Be a boy. Why you're being so sissy and saying no? It's okay. We will outgrow addiction, getting into drugs. You don't grow out of it. It kills you. It sucks your life out of you and destroy everything. So if ever someone says to try it, say you are my enemy. I don't make friends with my enemies. Tell them you're not going to do at any cost. You're not going to do it. That's it. That is the message. And from our experience of working with young girls and young boys, we see many young girls who are initiated into drug abuse, into substance abuse by their boyfriends. That is also one reality that I want to warn the young girls. Don't let any boy take advantage of you, saying that if you don't say yes to me, to the drug that I'm offering, to the small drink that I'm offering, to the smoke, the cigarette, the shikar, whatever, it starts from a very gradual level. You don't start straight, you don't start in a big way. Slowly, it catches you up. So if your boyfriend says, just for the company's sake, because from the many girls' experience, I've come to know that many of the girls are initiated through the boyfriends. I'm not blaming all the boys, but this is the trend that we observe. And also there are some boys who have been initiated because of through their girlfriends. So whether you're a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever friend that you are, don't ever offer to your friend and don't ever say yes to your friend. This is what I want to tell you. It's not worth it. If your friend is not for your healthy life, if your friend is not to help you for a good future, that person is not your friend. Keep away from such kind of friends And if they are friends like that, you tell the concerned people, concerned authority, that this person is indulging into it. So seek help, tell them to seek help at the right time. And there is a helpline that is available. Any information that you need, 14446, it's a toll-free helpline under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So you be aware about that helpline, toll-free helpline, 14446, okay? Don't forget that line, 14446. You call that number. If any help that is needed or if any information that you need, just call the number and then seek for help as well. So you spread that information to your other friends as well. And if you see any friend who are indulging into it, do not discriminate, but help them in a way that you are able to help them come out of it. Because we have seen all these years, many of the people who are struggling with drug problem, many people who are having a problem with drug and alcohol, they have been discriminated, they have been rejected, they have been abandoned by the family and by the friends. And that is also not the way to handle this problem. We have to extend our support, we have to help them in whatever way possible, because it is a treatable, not curable, but treatable. It can be treated, and a person can live a drug-free life. Once the person is able to go through the treatment process, they are able to seek help. You can still say no to drugs and live a drug-free life, a very healthy life. Just because a person has gone into drugs doesn't mean that person's life is no more or his life is over. No. The person can seek help and the person can still live a normal, healthy, positive, productive life once again. So let us not discriminate, let us not stigmatize, let us not excommunicate. Because we have this habit of taking shortcuts of excommunicating, expelling. These are not the ways of handling it, but we have to know where is the help available and address the problem in the appropriate way. So today, as we are here as colleges and schools, I want to say this. Many times as we are running the helpline, emergency helpline 109A, we have come across many cases where children were caught abusing, children were caught drinking, children were caught sniffing, children were caught chewing pan, tobacco, whatever intoxicants, and the students were made to, the children were issued certificates, transfer TC, they were also suspended. But what I tell the schools and the colleges is not expelling them, giving them TC is not the solution, but seeking help for them, giving them counseling, and showing them the right way. Because by giving TC, by expelling them from the school, by suspending them from the schools and the colleges, you are just asking them, you're just telling them, go and become a hardcore drug addict. That is not the way to help a person. So I want to request the school authorities and the college authorities, equip your institutions, equip your colleges, your universities, your schools, so that if at all, unfortunately, if any one of your students got into this problem, then you should know how to address this problem in the right way. Many times the schools and the educational institutions were caught doing the wrong thing, expelling them. According to the law, according to the Juvenile Justice Act, since the school students are also here, I just want to say this. According to the Juvenile Justice Act, if any child is caught using all the substances, the child is not supposed to be punished, but the child is given corrective help, counseling, and helping the person to come out. But what is happening is they're giving TC and suspending them. That is the wrong way. What the school authorities have to do is that they have to go and find out from where the child has bought the drugs or the substance of abuse, and the person who has sold the substance to a minor has to be punished, has to be dealt with as per the law. But the very person who is the culprit who is supposed to be punished is left scot-free, and the child victim is victimized all over again. This is due to the ignorance of the educational institutions as well. So I just want to say, our school education institutions, we also need to know how to handle this problem, because mishandling of such cases has spoiled many lives. Because when we work with drug users, we ask them, how did you get into it? Then they say, oh, I started using it when I was in the school. I started using it when I was in the hostel. And when I was caught, I was expelled and I couldn't get admission in other schools, so I became a street boy. I became a street girl. That's how the whole story runs through. So make sure that nobody drops out of school or is made to to go out of the school because of this habit, but bring them back to the mainstream. And the schools and the colleges today, the reality today is that many of the schools are hiding the problem because it's an issue of the prestige of the school. Even when they come to know about it, they hide it. And even colleges, and when I talk about colleges, it's not just about the secular colleges, but I'm also talking about even the theological colleges, because we run a rehab center and we know the reality. We keep coming, we have people coming from all kinds of background. We even have people coming from the theological colleges who are into drugs and alcohol. So every educational institutions are having their own challenges, but many institutions are are confused how to go about it. So we have to equip ourselves, make ourselves aware, educated, how to deal in the most appropriate way. And to the students, like I said, if you see a friend using it, report it to your teachers. Don't just be a silent spectator. Because students, we are supposed to be the change agents. We are supposed to give hope to people who are struggling because of various problems. So just because you are clean, just because you are not into drugs, don't just be a silent spectator and be content with being, oh, I'm a good girl, I'm a good boy. That is not enough. You are supposed to help people who are struggling with it. You are supposed to be a change agent. So be a responsible student. Do whatever you can, because every one of us, we have been given that responsibility, the potential to be a change agent in a society. So hundreds of students sitting here today, college students, university students, school students, let us be an agent of change and spread the word that we have to say no to drugs and you can live a healthy, positive life without drugs. And if you see anyone in help, if you see anyone in need of help, don't close your eyes. Don't be a silent spectator. Do something about it. Know where the service is available, know where the help is available, and do the right thing. This is what I would like to request the school students and the teachers. Equip yourself so that you are able to identify the problem when it is still in the initial stage. If you're not able to identify the problem in the initial stage, when the person has gone so deep into it, it becomes very difficult. And I just want to quote one quote which I find it very important and very relevant for us today. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men and broken women. So let us be in the business of building up strong children, not waiting for children to get into drugs and then go into rehabilitation treatment, running from one prayer center to another prayer center. Today, when I asked about all the prayer centers in Nagaland, many of the prayer centers are full of drug addicts and alcoholics seeking help. Rehab centers are full, prayer centers are full, there's no space available. This is the condition as of today. So let us be in the business of building strong children, strong young people, instead of waiting for them to come to the repairing shop. Because repairing is an expensive business. Sometimes we are able to repair, many times we are not able to repair the damage that is done. So with that,
we realize that drug abuse is increasing in our country. Especially among the youths. And this is a matter of concern. We pledge that we will cooperate in stopping the drug abuse. We promise that we will not consume any harmful or illegal drugs in any way, for any purpose. We will create awareness about the ill effects of drug abuse by encouraging every person, especially the youth, so that the youth of India can live drug-free and they can become creative and important members of the society. Today, we pledge that we will stay away from drugs and live a healthy life. Thank you. You may all be seated.
drugs addict, abusing, alcoholism. Itu para generation para khatam hoye ase de. To itu boste mano bishir duko ase. Each and every family almost affect. Kurigena Naga attack, Naga society attack itu through these drugs and alcohol abuse. Itu berarti Naga society generation kodum guridias.
So, why am I talking about this generation? I want to talk about this generation from the starting of baby boomers generation. That is people who were born from 1946 till 1964. They are called the baby boomers generation, and till us, our generation is Gen Z, Zoomers. We call it as Zoomers as well. So there were this generation, the baby boomers. Their generation were the first generation in history to embrace widespread drug abuse. So this was the first generation. And these people were born with good physique and with brilliant skills, but being introduced to drugs, their appearances disfigured and they had higher rates of fatalities. Most of them were during their 20s. So after this generation, the next generation, we call it as Gen X, Generation X. Those were people who were born from 1965 to 1980. So after this baby boomers generation, they were less into drugs. I guess this is better, right? They were less into drugs. People born from Generation X, anyone born from 1965 to 1980, Generation X. Some of our delegates and our teaching faculties as well. So their generation were less into drugs. Why? Because they were cautioned of the fatalities that happened during the baby boomers generation. So they focused more on education and less. This section of people are mostly doing good in life. Our parents, they are also from this generation as well. So there comes the millennials, that's Generation Y. Most of our elders in families, they are from Generation Y, also known as millennials. So these people, let me first say about, according to Google, people born from 1981 to 1996, they are called the Generation Y. So they were seeing less deaths due to drugs, because their parents were successful, our parents were successful in providing them what they wanted. So this section of people have high risk in developing an addiction. There then comes an addiction, and why I will talk about this later on. Let us come to our generation, because most of us are from Generation Z, also known as Zoomers. So we, the generation, have the highest risk of this drug addiction. There are so many reasons why, but one thing I would love to focus is social media. We are in the world of internet, social media, we're using it 24/7. Group of generation with so much curiosity, wanting to do anything in life, everything in life, want to try everything, enjoy our youth, right? So we have the highest risk than the previous age as well. Why are we talking about drugs? There are so many different types of drugs that we always deal with commonly. Alcohols, nicotine, cocaine, heroin, and so much more. I don't need to say it, you all must know, right? So why do we get into drugs? Or why do people get into drug addiction? Before saying that, why do people even taste? Why do we even taste that? Because none of the people goes into the addiction knowingly, but they first try it. Maybe they went to a trip for fun, for some fun, and they just tasted the drug for fun in the trip, but came back home and became an addiction, or maybe out of curiosity. Our ma'am already said about true friends, right? through friends, and also some because of money. There were a person whom I dealt with, a personal counseling. I dealt with a person who was an addicted of sunflower. So he was saying that he was not really into addiction the first, but how he started. He was a storekeeper, and a dealer came with him saying offered him to sell sunflower from his store. So he was just selling the drug, sunflower, and he was not into it. But one fine day when he was sleeping, he couldn't sleep. So he thought of just tasting that drug because he did not need to buy it. He was the one who sells it, so it was of no big deal for him. So he tried that, and that's how he got addicted to it. So that is how people get addicted to it. So just like that, due to money, friends, wanting to fit in, our curiosity, our generation with so much of curiosity, wanting to try everything, that's how people get addicted to it. Our JB has also told about this sunflower drug thing, which is very much talk of the town, right? So I want to focus on this very topic because it's very interesting for me. So what is sunflower? It is a drug which is derived from opium, and we find this as a form of powder. People either use it by inhaling or use it as an injective drug. So this part is very interesting. I want you to listen very carefully when I explain, because I have I've gathered this information from an expert, and he was explaining how when a person gets addicted to drug or when a person intakes this sunflower thing. So this sunflower, this drug, is very, very addictive. It is such an addictive drug because once a person inhales this sunflower, suppose this is your brain, and once a person inhales this sunflower, the receptor enters the brain and makes a space into the brain where the dopamine is spread. The dopamine is spread, it is released, and that is how the receptor builds a space in the brain and spreads the dopamine. That's how a person experiences this state of euphoria and its effects for 6 hours. So this hype, this person, whoever takes this sunflower, a receptor is already built inside the brain, and they face this state of euphoria for 6 hours. And after 6 hours, a person will want to taste this thing again, right? The person will want to take another sunflower, this drug. So after 6 hours, if a person intake this sunflower again, the same amount of dopamine will spread again. The receptor will build another space in the brain. But the person will not experience the same hype as he experienced in the first state, even though the dopamine is released in the same amount. And that is how this person will try to intake this sunflower little more amount than the first time he took. So just like that, every time this person will try to take this drug over and over again in a larger amount. So eventually this tolerance for the drug on the person over time changes. So that is how this vicious cycle will continue consciously or unconsciously. By the time there will come a time where this person will want to give up for so many reasons. We all know, due to mental health issues, or due to maybe financial as well, due to his personal or professional issues as well, due to family, so many other stuff, social causes. This person will want to quit this, but by the time it will be very late for him, because this person will already be getting all those withdrawal symptoms. So these withdrawal symptoms, some of these you can say a state of diarrhea or turkey. That's a very common thing, the turkey, and so many more. These withdrawal symptoms this person will experience if he does not take this drug. So he may try to go to different local pharmacies or for some medications for alcohol, for also for some painkillers. But this person will, the receptor will never, he will never feel the same hype that he took while taking drug than taking these painkillers or taking alcohol and such thing. So that is why this intake of the first intake of this sunflower is also so dangerous, because the receptor already built a space in your brain and you feel no more. The tolerance is already there, so you feel no more the other drug or the less amount of drug that you wanted to before. And that doesn't mean that the points which I have said is not as easy as it sounds. Of course, it's not impossible, because there are some people who are healed through these addictions as well. But don't you think it's better and wiser to enjoy our life rather than destroy our youth life? So here I am, standing and spreading awareness, hoping that we will all go back home and spread the same issue and awareness that is happening to your friends and your circle as well. Please remember, when your courage is tasted, no one ever has the right to destroy your dreams and shatter your life. It's just you and your decision alone. You are the master of your own. Remember that our country needs you as you are, its future and harbinger of progress. Spread the word and save life. Thank you.
Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you're done, there was never, never at all this world. And that was when I ruled the world. So wicked and wild, let me shadow windows in the sun. जाए जाने का हवाई हवाई जाए जाने का हवाई हवाई बेगानी है ये बानी हवाई हवाई
इतु भालपरा परफॉर्मेंस पिछते मोय लगा दरकारी नाय but I will finish my words. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt greetings to Mr. Sakato Jalipu, General Secretary, Nagaland Gaon Buda Federation, Miss Nagaland, Miss Hikali Achumi, Principal Tetso College, representative of Prodigal Home, all the students and staff from various participating schools and colleges. Today, we are gathered here to address an issue that profoundly impacts our society, the scourge of drug abuse. It is a problem that transcends borders, affecting not only individuals, but families, communities alike worldwide. It is both an honor and a responsibility to stand before you today addressing an issue which is a matter of grave concern for the whole world and it is adversely impacting the Nagaland youth. The menace of drug abuse is a global challenge that transcends borders, cultures and socio-economic backgrounds. It is a threat that undermines the very fabric of our society, tearing apart the families, eroding trust and robbing individuals of their potential. As we stand here today, united in our commitment to combat this epidemic, we must recognize the fight against drug abuse is not merely a battle of policies and enforcement, but a collective endeavour that requires involvement of every member of the society. Education plays a pivotal role in our effort to eradicate drug abuse. It is though through awareness and understanding that we empower individuals to make informed choices and resist the lure of substance that can lead to devastating consequences. I urge education institutions, community organizations and families to undertake comprehensive drug education programs, ensuring that our youth is equipped with the knowledge and resilience to make healthy choices. Law enforcement is another crucial component of our anti-drug efforts. We must support our law enforcement agencies in their mission to disrupt drug trafficking networks and hold those responsible accountable for their actions. Equally important is the need for rehabilitation, as was already brought out previously, that offers a path to recovery and redemption for those trapped by the clutches of the abuse. By addressing the root cause and providing support for rehabilitation, we can break the cycle of drug abuse. Community engagement is the bedrock of any successful anti-drug campaign. Together, we must stand as advocates, allies, and supporters of one another in this battle. It is a collective responsibility to safeguard our communities from devastating effect of the drugs. Together, we can create a future free from the shadows of drug abuse, where individual thrives, families flourish, and community prosper. I just want to highlight the independence of human beings is his or her free will. Mind, if is controlled by some other substance like drugs, then you are not in control of your own life. We as a youth and a human being should control our own life and keep the control in our own hand. I wish to highlight the contribution of Assam Rifle in anti-drug campaign, wherein 4.3 crore worth of drugs has already been seized since January 2023. To increase awareness, IGAR North, in collaboration with Kripa Foundation, Miss Hikali Achumi has already conducted anti-drug campaign at Kohima, and programs at Mokokchung, Tuensang and Mon are also planned in the month of November. I want to assure you that Assam Rifle, Friends of Hill People, will always stand by the people of Nagaland in their efforts to eradicate this menace from the society. In the end, I extend my compliments to Miss Hikali Achumi, Miss Nagaland, Mr. Bendang of Kripa Foundation, all of you who have gathered here for the noble cause. I also like to thank the administration and principal of Tetso College and participating colleges for their wholehearted support towards the cause. Thank you, and let us stand united in our commitment to a drug-free world. Jai Hind.